to the Hallmarkies podcast. We are so excited today. We have a very special Hall star with us that we haven't talked with for quite a while, but we love her. We're so excited to get to talk to Jill Wagner's here. And Jill, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Aw, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so the last time we had you on our show was January 2019, before Mystery 101. Can you believe it?
Wow, I can't even remember who I was back then. I feel like so much has changed.
I know. Even just this year, it's like, it feels so long.
Oh gosh, I think everyone is so happy for New Year's this year. But it's odd. 2020, I have a love-hate relationship with 2020 because, the best thing in my life happened in 2020, which is my daughter being born.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. It's like, I have certainly a fondness of 2020 because of that, but then I think of everything else and it's just like, ugh.
Well, at least, you've had that happiness to not only to brighten up the year, but also to keep you very busy as a new baby will.
Oh man, I'm so busy with it, with her. But it's the best kind of busy, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so well. Congratulations from all of us.
Thank you.
So exciting.
Thank you.
And when did you have the baby?
April 17th.
Wow. So right at the kind of peak of everybody's life.
Yeah, it was absolutely. It was really. I mean, I don't want to say it was so scary. I think it was. I had a little bit of anxiety because of the fact that I thought I was actually going to have to go into the hospital and have her alone,
mm-hmm.
and not be able to be with my husband because of COVID. So that to me was the scariest part of it. Yes, it's
definitely,
it's a little unnerving bringing a child into a world in which there's a pandemic going on and you're just like, oh gosh, how do I keep this little baby safe? But we're super, super lucky in the fact that we live on a farm away from everybody in a little town of about 800 people. So I was fairly confident that we could, kind of keep her safe and away from it all, which we did, or which we have so far. But it's just kind of, it's an odd way to bring a child into the world because, as family is used to being around during that time, right? Like, so everybody's hugging and kissing, the little baby. And that was the oddest part for me, is that, I had to keep some of my family members at bay because you just can't have a lot of people being around an infant, especially when there's COVID. So that was strange. And the fact that I had to have her with a mask on, that was a little strange.
Yeah, that would be really hard.
It was hard. It was not fun. I remember my best friend called me and she was talking about breathing techniques, and I was laughing because I said, I'll be lucky if I can breathe at all with this mask on. There's no technique to it.
So how did you come up with the name for your daughter?
That's so funny. That's the first question that everybody asks me. They're like, what? They're like, I've heard of Armie Hammer, but I've never heard of a female Armie. Well, it's so funny because we had thought about a different name, and this kind of came to us at the last minute because, well, she was conceived on July 4th, and my husband and I are super patriotic, and he's in the Army. I come from a family of military Marines, and I don't know. It's like we wanted a patriotic name because we knew what if she was a little, or if the baby was a little boy, we knew what we were going to name the boy, and it was a very patriotic name. But we didn't really have anything for a little girl, and so I was just kind of searching and thinking, and a friend of mine mentioned to me this name that a friend of hers had named her daughter, and I was like, I like that, and to just kind of honor our military because I have a strong, huge respect for them. And it's one of the reasons I fell in love with my husband. And I'm also very proud of my father. And like I said, we're super patriotic family. So I just thought that, I thought I'd name her that, or we thought we'd name her that. And Gray was actually supposed to be her first name. So
Okay.
we were going to call her Gray and then something, but we hadn't figured it out. So we just switched her first name to her middle name. So it's Army Gray Lemanovich.
Oh, well, I think it's great. That's really nice.
Yeah, thank you.
What's been the biggest surprise about being a mom?
I think it at my capacity to love.
Mm-hmm.
I thought with my husband, like that was, and I'm not saying that I love her more than my husband, because that's certainly not true. I love them both. But it's a different kind of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a complete and utter, just unconditional, selfless, like it's just unlike any other. It's different. It's unlike any other love that I've ever experienced. And I just guess that that's been the most incredible thing for me, is to experience that. And I know people tell you that, but I don't think that you can really know what they're talking about until you have a child of your own, or until you adopt a child, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the bond between a mother and a child, or a father and a child, is something that's so special.
Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, I've never had a child myself, but even just when my mom would have my siblings, it was always amazing to me how immediately it felt like, well, that's our family. Like
Yeah.
you can't even hardly imagine what it was like without them being part of your family.
Oh yeah. I look at her little face and I think, I went through so many years, 40
Yeah.
years without even knowing this little face. And it's really hard for me to believe that, because she's so ingrained in me now, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that face is just so familiar. And before she's even said one word, I feel like, oh, this is my best buddy. It's just an odd thing, to me,
Yeah.
but it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
the most beautiful thing in the world.
Oh, wow, we're so happy for you.
Thank
That's
you.
just wonderful. Well, let's talk a little bit about Mystery 101.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a fan favorite. Everybody has really enjoyed this series.
Great.
And
Thank you.
I was wondering if you have a favorite of the mysteries so far.
Yeah, I think the last one, because we finally get to see these two admit or act
Uh-huh.
on their feelings, right? Like you can only keep them apart for so long, and then it's like, okay, they're adults, you know, they're not children. We have to be able to let them, explore that world and that side of their relationship. And I think that the last one was really just done very well,
Mm-hmm.
and I know people are excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was exciting for me to get the new script to see where they go.
Well, are you guys doing more? Right,
Yeah, so we're filming one right
right
now.
now.
Yeah, so
That's what I thought.
I've 2 more weeks of working on that, and then we will make the long journey back to Tennessee with our travel trailer and our truck.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, my favorite was Dead Talk. Just
Yes,
I loved that
that was
one.
a
I
good
thought
one.
it was. I mean, I love the name first of all. Just that
Yeah,
alone,
yeah.
I was like, that's brilliant. But what I really liked about that one was seeing Travis being all jealous of
Mm-hmm.
you, and I love Matthew James Dowden. He
He's great, huh?
he was a great interview and just a really interesting person, and I don't know, I thought he was really fun, and in that with you, and it was kind of fun seeing both of you out of your elements. So he
Right.
was kind of so Travis was kind of having to be the pedestrian.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. He was not in his jurisdiction.
Mhm.
And well, what's interesting about this one is you will actually get to meet Travis's ex-wife. So she
Ooh.
comes into the picture, and there might be a little, jealousy on Amy's part. You never know. It depends on how I want to play
Yeah.
it.
Well, I love that. I don't know. That's just like, I always think that that's really fun, especially for a character like Travis that's so like pulled together and,
Yeah, tough
whatever.
man, tough
See,
guy. Yeah.
exactly. See him be all jealous is
Mm-hmm.
hilarious.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
But that must be fun to work with uh, Chris Beloha. He seems like such a nice person, and
Chris is great. He's, I think we're cut from the same cloth and we work the same way. And
uh-huh.
it's really been a gift to have somebody that, that just kind of knows how to play in scenes. And, I know maybe probably the producers hate this about me, but I dissect every single scene, and I'm really passionate. I really work hard towards making the best film that we can. And I know that they do as well, but I take it to another level. They'll all tell you, they'll be like, oh
Yeah.
God, Jill will dissect everything, because I try to like squeeze every amount of entertainment that we can get out of every single scene. And sometimes it's probably exhausting for the director and the producer to deal with me, but Chris is never exhausted. He's always one that's like, okay, all right, let's look at this. And then him and I will just play with it a little bit and ad lib on things. And he's always down to do that. And he's really good at it. So I think to have a partner that is game for all that, it just changes, it changes the work environment, right, to something that's really positive and creative. And I think that's what I want in my career, and that's what I strive for. So
well, I mean, and it shows in the movies, because you can just tell that the things are being, I don't know, you can tell when I feel like actors are just phoning it in and when
yeah.
they're really pushing themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And I never, ever, ever want to phone it in. I will always want it to be fun and challenging and dynamic, and, and everything. And that goes for, the simplest of scenes. I want to try to give it 110%. That's just my
Uh-huh.
nature. And
Yeah.
I do. I think that people can tell,
Yeah.
like our viewers aren't idiots. They look and they're like, okay, either that's a good movie or that's a bad movie. I mean, they know the difference. So I always try to make a good one.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So outside of the Mystery 101 movies, you've played a lot of interior designers, and I was just wondering if you have if you have a gift for interior design. Is that something you connect with?
It's so something I connect with. In fact, I think in a different life, I probably would have been a designer. My home I've been working on for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And so it's almost to the point we are probably 85% of the way there. And
Uh-huh.
I gutted rooms, and we started over. My house is from the 1900s. And so it was really just a huge labor of love, and a bit of the money pit in there as well. But it is something that I'm super passionate about. And I just love it. I love designing for my house. I love designing for my friends. I did my mom's apartment. So, anytime I can, and, go to Home Depot is that's like a special trip for me.
Yeah, we're kind of teasing on the podcast that Jill Wagner loves to take her leading men out shopping
Yeah.
in her movies.
I
Even in
do.
Pearl in Paradise, like I
Totally.
gotta get the
I
right
always like
stuff.
to take them shopping. My husband would laugh so hard if he could heard us right now. He'd be like, oh God, it's her. I'm trying to think. In Mystery 101, I don't take Travis shopping,
Yeah,
do
you
I?
need to do that, I think.
Not yet, but I feel like he needs, I don't know, he needs a new leather jacket or something. Maybe
Yeah,
we should go shopping.
I think so. But we were a little bit disappointed that we liked Christmas Wishes, Mistletoe Kisses, but we were a little disappointed not to get any mistletoe kisses in the whole movie.
Oh, the mistletoe kiss. Wait a minute. When did they kiss? They kissed
They
at the
all,
last, but
yeah, and then at the end they kiss, but not under the
it
mistletoe.
wasn't under the, well, here's what the new name should have been. Mistletoe, what should we call it? Mistletoe Mrs. Something
Yeah,
about
mistletoe
mistletoe.
misses. Yeah. Christmas wishes, mistletoe
Mistletoe.
misses.
Yes, Christmas wishes and mistletoe misses.
But that looked like it must have been a fun movie to make.
Yeah, I mean, that was, it was great because we shot in Atlanta. And so, I mean, just selfishly, I like being close to home.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And it was just a fun little, little movie, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
the house that we filmed in it was great. Except for the fact that I think 20 people got the flu on that
Oh,
one.
isn't that interesting? Don't we all look at stuff like that now different than we used to?
Oh gosh, I know. It's crazy. Yeah, I wish none of this even existed, but unfortunately it does.
Yeah.
But it was a fun movie, and um Matthew Davis was
Mhm.
amazing to work with.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. And then Donna Mills. I mean, I got to meet the great Donna Mills,
Yeah.
so she's an icon. So that was cool too.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just interesting how we look at things differently now. Like when a couple I don't know, a year or so ago, I when I was before I was accepted as a film critic on this in the press screenings, I was I was going to as many as I could, and usually I had to wait in lines, and lucky if you were able to get in. And one time I was actually invited to go. This was before I was put on the screener list, and I was so sick. I was just like,
Oh.
I was miserable. I was so sick, but I was like, I got to take this chance. I never get invited. So I went, and I ended up falling asleep through like almost the entire
Oh
movie
my
because I was
God.
so sick. I was like, why did I even? And of course, I didn't
Oh.
review the film because I was asleep for most. But I just think now, in retrospect, I'm like, what was I thinking? How, like, why would I do that when I? But I don't know. It was just a different time.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah, for
it
sure.
was like, I'll be fine. And you're just like, oh, it was almost like I felt sort of better about myself for doing it. Look how tough I am. Look how committed I
Mhm.
am to the
Mhm.
job, and now it would just be so different, I think,
Yeah.
now that
Yeah,
we
that's for
have
sure.
had this experience. I don't know, it's interesting. But so uh yes, because even in Hearts of Winter, you were an interior designer, or
Yeah.
you had your interior design show. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for some reason, people love to. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's because I always talk about it, and it's in the circle of
uh-huh.
knowledge that I've been doing my house forever. I've just been waiting to do the big reveal. I don't know. I'm gonna find some magazine. I'm in love with Garden and Gun magazine. I wish they would
Uh-huh.
want to do a piece on it, but it's I mean, I'm not just saying this because it's mine, but it's a spectacular house, and
Uh-huh.
I've just really tried to make sure that it's around for the next 100 years, so we've
Right.
done everything really right by it, and hopefully it will stay in my family for a while, but if not, the next family, it will be the we're the third owners of the house, only the third owner since
Nice.
1908. So if that tells you how much people love the house,
Yeah.
they stay at it. So
So do you have any new animals at the farm?
let's see. We have two new calves. Well, three actually. Three new calves. So now we're up to 11 cows. Think I don't know how
Wow.
many I had when I talked to you last. So we bred our girls, and we got three calves. And I wanted them to be able to experience having a baby and having something that they love, and then not being torn away from it, just being allowed to live on the farm. So, and all of them are going to live their best lives out on our farm. And, I just love them. I
Mhm.
can't even tell you how I never thought that I would say that about a cow, but they're such incredible animals, and they're so, um, they're just fun to be around. They calm my nerves for some reason. It's almost like watching a fish tank for me, like looking at my cows graze in the front pasture every morning is a bit like that for me. So, and then when Army grows up a little bit, we're, when she can actually experience this, we're going to get some chickens and we'll get goats and all of that kind of stuff that she's going to really like to be a part of in the beginning, you know?
So who takes care of, that's a lot, 12 cows.
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, my husband has a really, really hard job. I told him, I said, I got the inside of the house and you get everything on the outside, which is 200 acres. So have fun. But we do have people that help us with the farm when we're away. So when my husband is there, we have a farmer as well that takes care of the land. So you know, it's a little bit of everybody trying to keep it all together. So
Are they dairy cows? Do you milk the
no,
cows?
no. I mean, they would be, you know, steak for somebody, but they're not ever. They're my babies. Like I said, in fact, I've rescued most of them. One from the farmer that was at our house before we bought it. He was farming the land and he had this steer on the land along with a lot of other cows. And I just, for some reason, this massive big steer, we call him Jersey because he's a Jersey steer and he has horns. And for some reason, he is just really sweet. And him and I bonded. And when I found out that he was going to be the farmer's meat, I just couldn't take it. So I offered the farmer, I asked him if I could buy him. And he was like, why? I said, because I want him as a pet. I don't think he could completely understand that, but he let me buy him. And so Jersey now will live his days out on the farm as well.
Wow, that's really fun. It'll be fun for your daughter to grow up on a farm like that and have all
I think so. I mean, it's a pretty magical place and we've just been really fortunate. I mean, it is, you know, if I could ever say like what my like happy place would be, our farm is my happy place. Like in my head, that's where I go. And so the fact that we found it and that we were able to buy it and kind of, you know, make it our own is been such a gift. And that's, to be honest with you, that's something that Hallmark has been a part of because you know, without Hallmark and my work with them, I don't know if I'd be able to live on my farm. So that in itself is a huge gift from Hallmark and all the viewers. I mean, you guys are essentially why I'm able to be so happy. And I'm not saying that I couldn't be happy anywhere with my husband or my family, but it certainly helps to have, I'm really connected to this land for some reason. And it just, you know, it's just where your heart lies sometimes. So,
wow.
So thank you for my farm.
I don't know if I deserve any thanks, but I've certainly enjoyed your movies. So it all works
well,
out great.
Anybody that's enjoyed the movies and that keep me doing movies for Hallmark is, you know, they're a part of my success. And I just really want to thank everybody for that because that's not something that I ever thought would happen in my whole entire lifetime, is that anyone would watch a film that I did. I just thought I was going to try it and I don't know, figure out, I thought it was going to be a place saver until I figured out what I was really good at, you know?
Do you have a favorite of your non-mystery movies that you like best?
Oh gosh, a favorite on Hallmark of my non-mystery movies? Gosh, it'd probably have to be Pearl in Paradise.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, being in Fiji shooting the movie is kind of epic and it did not hurt. But it's just, again, like being with Chris and Fiji and we just had so much fun. And it's like, I had a whole experience there as well, along with filming the movie. A friend of mine back in Tennessee, she brought 2 suitcases filled with stuff like flip-flops and toothbrushes and toys for the children, and because it's a poverty-stricken place. And so we brought it up the river and we got to sit with these people in their huts and watch the children play and talk to them. And that was to me so special. And I actually got to go to a Fijian church, and it was just incredible, and so all that together with the experience of filming the movie, it just kind of added to my energy there, and it was just a memory that I'll never forget.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's one of our fan favorites. People really enjoyed it. So are you going to be in the? I don't know if you're allowed to say. Are you going to be in the new Christmas in Evergreen? Are you going to have a cameo in there?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I was filming my Angel Tree. So I filmed Angel Tree last month and then went directly into this one.
Okay.
So yeah, no, unfortunately, she has taken a vacation from Evergreen.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the Angel Tree. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So Rebecca is a reporter, and she works for this magazine, and the editor has told her, she's written this little article about the Angel Tree from her hometown. And the Angel Tree is pretty special because people make wishes on it and, tie little wishes up in the branches, and then somehow magically this person called Angel makes all of these wishes come true, but nobody knows who it is. So the editor was that piqued her interest, and she was like, I want you to find out who this is. But the problem is my character Rebecca, she's like, I haven't been back there in 20 years. I don't want to go back there and spend my Christmas, and especially take my daughter. I mean, it's just not where I want to be. But of course she does, because she wants to be promoted in her business. And so she goes, and it's all about her journey of the mystery of trying to figure out who this person is, and also just getting back together with her old best friend, which this is one of the reasons I loved this script. And I don't know that it was necessarily written like this, but it's something that Lucas Bryant, who plays Matthew, that we talked about in length and wanted to really, really be different in our approach to each other. Because I know some of these movies, you've got the either the old boyfriend or the old friend, when you come back home, and there's this awkwardness about it. Whereas I used to be best friends with guys. Like that's one in particular. And every time I would go back home to see him, it was like, I would run and jump, and he was like a jungle gym, right? I was like a little monkey climbing all over him. And I think that it's that kind of relationship. It's not awkward at all. It's just like, buddy, oh my God, I can't believe you're still here. And it's this really, really fun, playful relationship that they have. And seeing that turn into something that's deeper. And so there's that part of it. There's also a military aspect of it. There's also the fact that I have a little girl who has dealing with the loss of her father. And there's another little boy in it who is Matthew's nephew, who's dealing with his mother being away for because she's in the military. And so there's all kinds of aspects to this movie that I like, and it's just really, really cute. And I love Jessica Harmon, who directed it. And I'd worked with her father, Alan Harmon, on Hearts of Winter, the one that I actually produced. And so it was great to work with her. Strong female. I dig her. I mean, I could hang out with this girl every single day, not to mention that she's super talented. And so she was great. She's a actor's director, and because she was an actress herself. And so the whole process was just a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that, about having a director who is not only a woman, but also a actress herself, and what that is like.
It's great. I mean, I as a female actor, obviously a female actress, but as a female and an actress, I think it's not that I only want to work with females, because I don't think it's whether they're female or male. I want the best person for the job. I really do. And I think there is, just by our nature in general, I think there's this compassionate side that comes out that is really interesting. And it's a way to look at the role that that maybe softens it a bit, or softens the scene a bit, or I don't know. It's just there is a difference, but I just really enjoyed her, and it's something that, in watching her do what she does, I think, I've kind of, I won't say I want to be a director now, but I think it's piqued an interest in me.
Ooh.
And I'm getting ready to work with one of the best, I feel like, in our industry right now. His name is Taylor Sheridan, and I'm working with him on a project that my husband and I actually kind of created with him. And so that is another person that I get to watch now, and it's going to be interesting if that kind of opens a new door for me, because I'm finding myself being drawn to that. But before I say anything, totally, like I would need to shadow somebody, or really, really, learn more about it. But it certainly is interesting to me at this point.
Well, that's exciting. So it would be a feature film with Taylor?
No, it's a TV show that we came up with.
Show.
Yeah, 3 years ago. It's called Lioness, and it's going to be on Paramount Plus. We got a full season pickup. Zoe Saldana is attached to it already. We have another super huge name that I can't say yet. That is like the A-list of the A-list. And then Taylor, of course, Taylor does Yellowstone, and he's wrote and directed Angelina Jolie's new film. And, those that are fans of him know that he did Sicario, which was nominated for an Oscar. And I mean, he's just super.
Hell or High Water.
Hell or High Water, Wind River. I mean, he's one of the most talented people. And it's odd because he used to be my acting coach in my early 20s. And that's how I knew him. And so when my husband and I came up with this idea, literally we were drinking whiskey around a bonfire one night at our farm. And I was kind of talking about my career. And my husband said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I feel like I have to be proactive because I don't have an agent. I've never really had an agent. I've had, I think, like one or two agents for a couple weeks, basically. It didn't really work out. So it's been me and my manager, and I've just hustled in this business, and I have just worked my butt off and clawed my way. And I said, I've got to create it. I can't wait for somebody to come and give me something because, on my late 30s, people aren't knocking down your door. And so he was like, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, I'd love to play somebody in the military. And that's when I asked him, I said, could you start telling me, your military stories. Tell me some of your war stories over in Afghanistan and stuff. So he started telling me about this group of women. And when he started telling me, I was like, this is a show. This is a movie. This is something. Oh, wow. And so we wrote a treatment the next morning and got a hold of Taylor, and the rest is history. And so 3 years ago that started, and we sold it this year to Paramount, and we start filming in Dubai and Atlanta next year, probably around March.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's so exciting. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's going to be, that's the one thing that I've been training for. That's been, everybody's like, why are you with Farm Bod, my trainer, and everybody's like, why are you training so hard? But that's it, because my character is super different, and there will be massive changes to me that everybody, I think their jaw is going to drop when they see me in this, because you won't see Jill Wagner at all. You won't see me at all. So it's a really I guess it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for an actor to be able to transform like this, or to be asked to, because I think you would have to probably ask me to do the things that Taylor's asking me to do, and I wouldn't do it for just anybody, but I would do it for Taylor. So it's going to be shocking, to say the least.
Wow. Well, I can't wait for that. That's awesome. Yeah. So with The Angel Tree, where's that movie set at?
The angel tree is in, oh gosh, you're asking me. I'm like, where is it set at?
Because I was thinking with Lucas Bryant that, oh, is this going to kind of tap into her country kind of roots a little bit?
No, it's not necessarily country. Well, we shot it in Kelowna, BC,
Okay.
which is interesting because it's a whole new backdrop for a lot of these films aren't shot in Kelowna. So Kelowna is beautiful. So people are going to get, like, Kelowna itself is its own character.
Uh-huh.
So that's a good question. I don't even know. I don't know if it was mentioned or if it was just like, you're going back to, it's Pine River. So I don't know where Pine River is. I'm assuming it's just in, just like this little kind of,
But he's not like a cowboy kind of character.
no.
Okay. Okay.
No, we're just like, it could be, for all I know, it could be a little town outside of California. I don't know. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it's with Hallmark, there's like, it's kind of left to believe you could be anywhere, right? You could be anywhere, so anybody can relate to it. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a sweet movie.
oh, thank
It'll
you.
be really fun. So we like to end our interviews with some fun questions,
Okay.
and we have some holiday themed questions for you.
Okay.
And I actually forgot to check to see what you did the last time, but if you've already done it, that's okay. It's been 2 years. We can do it again.
That's fine.
So, all right. Well, first question, what is your favorite holiday drink?
Oh gosh, eggnog for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. All right.
I
What
mean,
is
to the
your,
point where, I will tell you this, to the point
yeah.
where, like 2 or 3 Christmases ago, I was gaining a lot of weight because of eggnog. It is so good. It's just so rich.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that. All right. What is your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
I make these little thing called, I call it snow. I don't know that anybody else calls it snow. Puppy chow. Some people call it
Oh,
puppy
yeah.
chow, with the Chex and the chocolate and the confectionery sugar. I can eat that stuff. When I tell you, I could get a whole bowl and just sit there in front of the TV and eat it. But here's the thing. I only make it at Christmas, no other time. And my stepdaughter's always like, can we just please make some snow? I'm like, no, ma'am. It only happens at Christmas because I cannot do this to myself, because I will, if I let that rule be lax, then I'll be gaining 5 pounds a week at that point.
Yeah, you're like, it's addictive. Keep it away from
Yep.
me. All right. Well, what is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Silent Night, because it's something that my family, every Christmas Eve, we would stand around the table right when we were getting ready to say grace, and we would all sing Silent Night. So that's a good memory for me.
That's great. Okay. What is your favorite classic Christmas movie?
Oh, The Christmas Story.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, Ralphie, like, it's the best. It plays all the time, all day long in our house.
I love that one too.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, it's overrated. I don't think it's overrated.
No, it is not overrated in the least. It is so funny, and all those characters are absolutely perfect. They were cast so perfectly.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and it has like a heart to it. It's not just jokes.
Yeah,
He beats
yeah,
up
for
that
sure.
bully. I mean, I definitely connect with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Okay. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
The letters that me and my family write to each other. So we have a Christmas letter, and
Oh,
it recaps the year and just kind of what we're thankful for, and what happened, and just it's just nice to read from somebody else's point of view how they felt their year went and what they're
yeah,
grateful for. So yeah,
that's cool. All right. Which do you prefer, Scrooge or the Grinch?
the Grinch.
Okay. Clear lights or colored?
Clear.
Okay. Would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
Snowball fight.
Okay. Would you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
Oh, the best. That's what I wanted to be when I was little. My mom asked me what I wanted to be, and I said a professional gift wrapper. Like, and that's what I meant, that I did want to do that for a living.
That's funny. All right, last question. What is your ugliest Christmas sweater? Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
I do, gosh, but I have so many. My favorite one of all actually was not mine. It was my brother's. He came into the party and he had just pinned everything on him. So it wasn't one that was made. It was
Uh-huh.
just him pinning ornaments all over him and wrapping lights. And it was like the worst situation. And I was thinking, oh my God, how are you going to get this off of you? And how are you going to sit down and it all, but you know, he won that year. I was like, you won the ugly Christmas sweater party.
I prefer the authentically ugly Christmas sweater versus the
Yeah, there's a lot of
manufactured.
cute ones, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not really ugly. It's just kind of cute.
Yeah. That is cool. Well, there you go. You answered all the questions. You passed the
Awesome.
test. Well, thanks so much for coming and talking with us. We really appreciate it, and we're excited for the new movies and for your new series. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And we hope everything continues to improve. As far as I didn't really get to ask you about, what was it like shooting in COVID for this movie?
Yeah, but it's been really, I mean, I thought it was going to be really challenging, but I think they've got a hold on it, and it's just kind of flowed because everybody's been really diligent about their masks and distancing, and kind of we do the test every week, and so I
Uh-huh.
think they've done a pretty good job of managing it in the film world, at least for the Hallmark films that I've done.
That's great. That's good to hear that everybody feels safe,
Yeah.
and that we're able to. I mean, I'm just blown away that they managed to make 40 movies this year. It's
Isn't it
just
crazy?
incredible. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's
So,
crazy for
uh,
sure.
yeah. Well, I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas. And
Thank you.
if if people want to follow you on social media, how can they do that?
Absolutely. It's at Jill Wagner.
Great. And we'll put that all in the description. So make sure you're all following Jill. And yeah, thanks again. And we will
Great.
hopefully talk next time before the mysteries come out. That would be fun.
For sure. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye.